go! What's going on, everybody? All right, so it's been several weeks, and you remember the last installment where I was taking the cylinder heads off the Galaxie of the Ford. So I got them back. Let's walk out here to the truck and we'll see what we're working with, guys. And I really appreciate you guys for tuning in to the We'll Fix It team. Got some trunk, a bunch of parts right there. Yep, water pump, and I've got some other stuff I'm going to do as well this day. We're going to try to tighten it up really, really good. Let's flip the camera around. Here they are. They've been vatted, of course, and they are new valves. And no, I'm not painting them. The reason why I'm not is because they're just going to look like blue heads on an old motor. I'm putting it back to make it look like it's been not touched. If that's fair enough for you guys, I don't mind the old look. And I got the other cylinder heads had the valves with caps on them, and they were an old style softer cylinder head. Softer seat. And so I've got the hardened seats in there now to work with the unleaded fuel that we currently have. Back in the day when this motor was built, they used a thing called leaded fuel. Let me see. Let me flip this around a little bit better here. Okay. And so the valves are all new. Hardened valves, hardened seats. Not for performance, just because so we can run our pump gas. And yeah, so we're going to give her a go. Got new seals. It's been honed to fit. The guides are, so the guides are newish. The original guides, but honed to fit. And where are we at here? There it sits. Yes, there's a lot of junk in here. You'll probably remember when I got that from the JD if you watched any of the videos here. That came from JD's house. And I've got an old mini bike over there too. I've got an older 5-horse I'd like to put on there, make it look old again. But it's all there. We may get that going at some point. But here we are. Let's see. I greased these cylinders down so that they wouldn't rust while it sit waiting. And now all I got to do now is I'm not going to wipe the grease out right now. I'm going to wipe off the grease that's on the surface. There's a little bit where I smeared here and there. And that way I can clean and not get that stuff all in my cleaning wheel. And go back with it, start putting her back together. So yeah, stick with us. We'll make this fast. Try to make this video less than a half an hour. But, flip this around. This timing cover, somebody has replaced the water pump and there's a bolt broke somewhere, right? There's a bolt broke. I seen it. Oh, over here, right here. Probably from when they were changing it, there's a piece of a bolt still in that thing. And so what I'm going to do is, because there's a little bit of an area where it looked like it was leaking right in that corner. Once I had it running, you could see some stuff building up. I'm going to put a new timing cover on it, and that way we'll have all that new water pump, new timing cover, new gaskets. I'll get the bolt that's broke off out of there. Hopefully it's not broke off flush with the block. If it is, we'll get it out. We'll drill it out. But we're going to hopefully have this thing going, not this weekend. This is going to be probably a few days, because it takes longer to put stuff back together. And I'm getting started on this. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And tomorrow I have a birthday party for my little one. She's turning 10. And so that will be the 15th of April. 16th of April. Yeah, anyways. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Stick with us. Oh, man, I got you on camera here. Need to hold this tool flat don't grind all right in here in the middle too much. You'll dip the block. Just be flat, easy, and just let the tool do the work, I guess is how they say it. And I had no idea what that meant growing up. You have to just get your hands dirty. You'll figure it out. You'll see when you start messing up. So I guess it's all working the tool, but I do have to angle this just a little bit because I want to be really precise where I'm going right here. So low speed and light contact, well, medium speed. You can see how that really gets the job done right there. You have to be especially careful with this thing on aluminum. I'm telling you guys, you'll learn. You can see where I'm at right here. Make sure you're flat with that. Don't round that corner right there. You round that corner and you got problems with your intake gasket. So you want to make sure you hit this like this and hit that flat like that. So yeah. So I'm going to have to do a lot of maneuvering. So we'll cut the camera and you'll get to see the finished product here in just a little bit. Okay, so we're moving along. I got one side ready to finish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the rest of the gasket material off the other. Then I'll wipe out all the grease from the cylinder walls, because what that'll do is catch all the dirt and grime and all that. The only thing will be left will be where it's kind of like down there around the ring pit, or around the top of the piston, where that little spot where the top ring is. And I'll take my air hose and brake cleaner and I'll clean around that and blow all that out. So we'll get all the fragments of dookie out of there. And let me show you what I did. Oh, give me 1 second here. So there's the other side. So here's one side. Dang, get over here. I'm good camera guy, right? It's nice and clean and pretty. Oh, so pretty. I had to, that manifold, I'm pretty sure y'all seen that. And that is a manifold. That's not a woman fold. I know. This is a man car. So these are manifolds. I hope we're okay assuming the chromosome. So I pulled that manifold up out with my old handy dandy piece of nylon strappy strap, and it gave me enough clearance to get in there with my tooly tool to do my cleany clean. And we'll repeat the process, being real careful, trying to stay flat as possible, but of course you may have to work the edge of the tool a little bit to kind of get in some of the little bitty areas, but being very mindful of not taking any metal off. Now, using this disc is kind of like in still in okay shape, and that's fine. I want to run it because a new disc is very, very abrasive. A new disc will go, you'll be watching metal fly with it. I'm like, oh my goodness. I have when I've gotten aluminum surfaces. I have when I got aluminum surfaces, knowing I didn't have a used one kind of like laying around where I could slide one on, so I wouldn't. I've taken a new one and like against something else so I could wear some of that off so it's not so abrasive. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, so getting once I got one cylinder head on and torqued down over here, you can see right there. That's one of them. Then I got. So be careful if you don't have the vertigo. So I'm going to take that cylinder head there, and I'm going to use some brake cleaner right here that I've got. And I'll wipe that down. That's why I do it off the gasket surfaces. Get any oily residue off. Alrighty, and then I've devised a method. Let me flip the camera around. This should work. I've got to work past the fuel line and some other stuff, and it's kind of tight in that hole. And these cylinder heads are kind of heavy and cumbersome, so hopefully I can just slide those down over those studs and it'll just line right up. I made sure they were long enough to stick up through the head, so when I put it on, I could get them back off. All right, okay, here we go. All right, we'll see how bad this works. If it works, I don't know. We'll see. You see the studs I made there. That worked pretty good. All right, so I'm back. It's Sunday. Like I didn't really even say anything, but I had to stop for the day. We got a lot done considering I got started kind of late. Check this out. Let me flip the camera around. I'm walking back in. We're gonna get this thing washed up once we get it all done, and we'll see how well it cleans up. I'm actually really enjoying the Dookie look. So guys, don't hate on me, but I don't mind. I actually kind of like the patina. And I did put a little bit of paint on the heads. I put some black on there just to kind of match the old Dookie black motor. Just because it's just oily and old. And I like that. I like to see that. I want to see it run. It's going to run great too. I have a lot of confidence in it. But anyway, so we're getting to the... We've got all the manifolds bolted on. Like I say, this is not... Those aren't woman folds. We've talked about that before. And just these rocker arms are pretty nice, and just tighten them down. You just pretty much run the old... I did put some oil on the threads, which I used some STP just because I'm not going to start this motor today. And I will pre-oil the engine again while I have the distributor out. I'll turn that oil pump with a drill and drive it and get some oil up to these lifters. But they just tighten down. It's pretty nice. Oh, I meant to tell you, watch out for your ears. The nuts have... They're a crushed nut, so they're a tough turn the whole way, that's so well. This is pretty much where we're at now. I took the old trusty shop vac that I got when I was 13 years old, and when I helped a guy do some wiring in a house. He paid me some money, and I went to the Sears place and bought that shop vac when I was 13 years old. I am 41 now. You don't find them like that with the big hose. So just to let you know, and it's been around for many years. So we used that shop vac to clean the top of the engine up, which wasn't bad, but there was some flakes where broke some. The head gasket's loose, so the flakes kind of like got loose in the bottom around the lifter valley. So I pulled a lot of that out while I was working on it, but we're moving forward with it. And we're going to work on it some more. I got a birthday party for my 10-year-old now at 2 o'clock today, so I'm going to have to ease out of here pretty soon. Madonna, eat your heart out. All right, I'm out. I'm not out, but we're going to do some more work, and I'll roll on through it. Thank you, guys. We'll fix it too.
Man, Sean. Sean.
Good day. All right, so here we are. We're in some more stages of the Galaxie put back together. I got my chapstick on because it's kind of weird weather out here, so please forgive me for having that going on. But let's flip the camera around. And we're in the middle of the valve cover gasket reinstallation. And I've already got this one all nice and fancy. I haven't done anything other than just clean it off. And I'm not going to fancy it up too much. Like I say, I'm just kind of wanting to put this thing back like it looked, without having to go. You start doing something too fancy, everything else has to follow suit. Then you're never ever going to be done with it. So anyhow, here's what what it looked like to begin with. The sun is shining, but maybe you can get an idea there. Okay. So, a good idea, I use my wire wheel. You've seen this. I use it without my safety glasses, and y'all been fussing at me about that, so we'll put safety glasses on this time. And a rule of thumb with these old valve covers, once you get them all cleaned up and everything, you take a hammer, of course maybe a smaller ball peen hammer than this, and you hold this valve cover, in all these American motors, anything like this, you'd hold it right there, and you'd want to flatten the hole out. So that because these things tend to get pushed in if somebody goes by and retightens the valve cover bolts, they'll just pinch the crap out of them and dent in where it goes. This one here is a good example. It's kind of convexed, protruding. So when you tighten it down on your new gasket, it splits the new gasket before it tightens down flat. So you take your hammer and you flatten that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready. Let's just walk back in the building, and you can see a little bit. I've just got back out here. Morning times I've got a lot to do all the time, so and it was raining a lot earlier, and it's about to start back again. But we've got the intake. I got everything covered up really good, so when I'm not here, because I only work on some on the weekends, but there's our rocker arms all ready to go. They're hanging out. I sprayed them. Believe it or not, this is some good stuff for whenever you're going to not be working on something for a little bit. I just spray some of this because it has a residual effect, and it kind of stays on metal surfaces for a lot longer than some other stuff that you use. I already hear we're experiencing thunderstorms today. Let me flip the camera back. I'll show you the sky. It's a little wonky weather. I don't know if you can see that. It's some big clouds behind me, and it's been off and on today. but we're just doing what we can do, and that's all. So thank you very much. We're going to work on this thing some more. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're working on the car still over here, and let me show you what I found so far. Check this out. So, do you remember earlier in some of the video I was talking about one of the bolts that may have been broken in the cover? It was, you know, obviously missing a bolt. Most of the time when they change the water pump, one of the bolts gets broken off. Well, I got the cover off, and come to find out, I think that they just goofed and didn't put it in there. And so, you know, the hole looks really good because I've already took some WD-40 and a little tap and a dye. I took one of those things that went in the hole, and I went through all those real quick just to check them. Went through those as well. But our efforts aren't futile because you can see that it has the original timing chain, and that is kind of neat. It used to have like a polyurethane insulator that would kind of fill in the what you see here, and over time that just goes away, and then you get a really slack chain, and it's in time. I looked at the little timing mark. It's hard to see on my camera, but here and here it's pretty close. So it hasn't jumped timing yet, but it wouldn't take long. And most of the time that happens when you shut the engine off, because when the engine's running, everything's moving in one direction and doing its fine and dandy thing. When you shut the engine off, at the last little bit, the compression of the motor can make it go back and forth on the crankshaft, and that in between back and forth with the bumpiness of the cam at low speeds can actually cause it to jump timing. So most vehicles, they'll say, man, it was running fine until I cut it off, and they come to find out that's when you cut it off and go to restart. That's your critical time for timing to jump. So, you know, I was able to clean the threads really well. That's a good thing. I've actually found a bolt that is the correct length that I can put back in place, so I have that, and I can put the new chain in there, which I already anticipated, so I have. And the cover looks really good, so I'm going to reuse the original cover just because it's the original cover. I just do that kind of stuff. Phone, my camera, it's not a phone, trust me. It's just a camera with a phone inside of it. It's not focusing. So I'll figure out a way. We'll continue on with belay on is what they would say if we were rock climbing, but we're not. We're engine working, so we'll just keep moving along and get everything cleaned up. Oh, I'll show you one more thing. So this gasket's real hard, and I got a small little hammer that I'll of course I'll get rags and I'll put them all in here and keep all that stuff from falling in, and then I'll tap it. I'll tap this hard gasket with a little small ball peen hammer, and it will just break right loose. It'll come all off of there nice and pretty, and then I can go behind it with my wire wheel and clean all that off, make it look real nice. It'll be real easy when I move the chain out of the way as well. I can get the rags poked in there, it's stuffed in there really good. So, all right. Oh, okay, here we go. So I'm gonna show you where we're at now. I've got the cover back on, and it's hot out here, so I've resulted to shirtless mechanic guy. So we're gonna do this as all headshot now, because you know don't want to break up any homes out there. All right. Anyways, let me flip not the phone back around, which is my camera. Hold on. So, junkie. All right, there we go. And so we're back on. What I've done is I wanted to get the bolts all, you know, make sure that they would all thread in, and I wire wheeled the old ones. There's my new one. And you'll notice that I have quite the neat bead of this, well, that's ultra black type sealant, but they supply you with these little spacers that go there, and I'm going to go ahead and let you know, good luck with that. Those spacers that they give you to put in there, like, I'll show you in just a second. Just hang out. I use the old seal that's on the cover already. Even though it's old, it doesn't matter, because when I put the sealer in it, the sealer lets it slide right in place, takes up any imperfections right there, and when it seals, it's better than trying to fumble that old gasket or the new seal or dropping the oil pan and breaking that seal loose, because the oil pan gasket doesn't leak at all on this thing. And so let me show you what they give you in the set here. My camper / tool cart for right now. Let's see here. Let me see. Right here. They give you these little corner pieces, and yeah, good luck with that. They're gonna just come right out. So let me get back over here So now we'll get the water pump on. We'll get the fuel pump back into place and start putting the front of the motor back together. So maybe we'll get this thing kind of buttoned up before the day's out. I don't know, guys. Well, stick around and we'll keep rolling with it. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we're vlogging right along here, guys. Let me show you where we're at real quick. And the front of the motor back on. But before I go any further, I want to, I had to helicoil some holes as well. I don't know if I fixed all those back in the head, but to keep the video short, we're trying to do like a vlog of this old car whenever I first got it. And so now I'm going to fix up a device where I'm going to turn the oil pump and pump up the lifters to the best. You know, it might click a little bit when I first crank this thing up, but it won't be dry in oil or nothing. I'm going to pump put oil on the oil galleys and the crankshaft by turning the oil pump. And we'll just move right along with that. And oh, by the way, I'm going to use something real simple. It's going to be this right here, which is, I'm going to put tape on that, of course, so it doesn't drop off of there. But it's a 1/4-inch shaft. I'll use that and an electric drill or an air pneumatic drill, whatever you want to use. And I'll turn the oil pump. And I can't remember which way it turns. I'm going to turn it one way. If it goes, I'll turn it back the other, and then you'll feel it build pressure because it'll tighten up on the drill. But I want to say it's clockwise, but anyhow, I think. Yeah, anyways, I should know this stuff. All right. So that's where we're at. We're working right along with it. It's getting evening time on Sunday, so I don't know if we'll get it running today or not. But we're going to give it a go. We're going to kind of mess with it till we get burnt out for the day. But we got to work tomorrow, so I'm trying to save it all for the game. Anyways, so here we'll be right back here shortly. Hold me closer, Tony Danza. All right, okay. So enough fooling around. We are in the process of reassembling the front of the engine. We've been sort of kind of keeping a little, I guess we call this a vlog more than a how-to, because a how-to would be extremely long, and this is fun. So I thought maybe we'll just do this. So let me flip the camera around, which is totally not my phone. And there we are. I've got all that stuff on the front there. I just got that laid over so I don't get an unwanted guest in my motor. You never know about field mice around here. And those old wires are going to be replaced with new ones. I've got a new set, but I just wanted to get the cap on there and seal up my points. And you know, we've got all the stuff secured properly. Before prior to doing this repair, there was work that was done to the vehicle, and the holes that held part of the back of this bracket were stripped, and it was just kind of barely hanging on. So we got that all straightened out. And this, yep, yeah, I know, sounds kind of rough, but that's a replaceable bearing. There was Freon in that system. I don't know if I said it in the first of the video. I unhooked one of the lines, and it wasn't like completely full, but it had something in it, which means that more than likely we can throw some good old-fashioned, well, I may have some R12 laying around, but I don't want to tell anybody. So, let me see here. Well, I got to get the radiator in, and I got to do some work on that. I have to replace one of the fittings that goes to the tranny cooler line for the transmission. And, so, on belay, I guess we'd say again. All right. North Carolina weather, go from having a jacket on to having it's 80 degrees. It was 50 this morning. We're pretty well got the old car kind of running. Let's see if it'll. Carburetor's paper locked a little bit. Flip my not phone around. I haven't got the bracket back on this yet, but I'm gonna have to reset the distributor a little bit. I've got to think one notch forward a little bit, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, the time is still a little bit high. You hear the motor jump a little bit. Whoa. When I run the motor up to speed, you hear it go maybe a little bit. I don't know if you heard that, but Fords will do that when the timing is a little bit high. So I'm going to have to move the distributor, but I'll get to that. That'll be next. I just wanted to show you that it runs. It's running back. So thank y'all very much. A little bit more to come. A little bit more to come. Let me show you what it looks like now. There it is. We're out of the building. We're out of the building. When I was running it, I had let the thermostat open up, so some water bubbled over on the fan. That's why you've seen some water on the motor there, but running really good. And now it has fixed my problem where it was just making the radiator hose super tight and blowing the coolant out of it. So that's a good thing. What's going on there? Yeah, maybe it's Maybelline. I could start selling makeup stuff. What do you think, guys? I don't know. But anyways, so my next move now is to actually set my distributor a little bit better. It's off just one tooth forward. I need to take and move it back a little bit. My time is a little bit high. And air cleaner on it. I've already got the title switched over, put some insurance on this thing, and we'll start driving it here soon. Sure enough, because it's looking like a success. But here it is. Sturdy still. I know I gotta wash it off really good, but it's cool though. So yeah. Anyways, we've still got more to do. We'll have a lot of fun with it. We'll go to our cruise ins. So thank you so much for tuning in. The We'll Fix It team. We will button this thing up. I'll do a cap off video of going up the road in it, and we'll call it a day, which it might be soon. Anyway, I got a lot going on. Be right back. Guys, it is that day. Finally, we're going to upload this video, well, this coming up week, which you really, the day, okay, I'm complicating things. Long story short, here we are. This, the green bean itself is ready to drive up the road. And I've got tags insurance on it. This will be it. I've drove it around, you know, my little back road here just to see how things are going to do. And it's so far so good. I'm sure we're going to have to work some more bugs out, but we're hopefully going to get it up to the cruise in this weekend, and or Monday after this weekend. So hey, let's. It's pretty much a cold start. I fired it just enough to get it out of the building so I could check the tire pressure and all that. So let me jump in it real quick. I'm gonna have to stop the not phone camera and jump in it. We'll do a cold start, crank it up, and transmission cold, acts a little funny, possibly hopefully a sticky valve. If nothing else, we'll figure it out. But we'll just it's nice to see it run it again. So let me get on the show with it. All right, let's flip this thing around. Okay. Since I have started it for a nano, it ran for like maybe a minute earlier, or not even a minute. So let's see. Okay. Shutting the old dookie door. Well, goes in gear really well. Like I say, when we, I've got to put my gate up, so we'll restart here in a second when we get up the driveway. All right, so here we go. First gear, second gear. Let's see how good third works. Oh, wow. Third worked really good. It's been kind of wonky, but wow. All right. Probably can't hear it, but we're cruising now. Look at the old floorboard down here. The sun's not shining, but this is neat. Yep. Flip the. Okay, guys. We're so far now. Will this thing make the home trip? We're gonna find out soon enough, guys. We'll have to. We don't live too far from the other place where I was working on this thing, but we've got a long trip to go when we take it to the. Well, I consider it a long trip. It's probably about a 35-minute drive to where we can do the cruise ins. and some long straightaways, a little bit of highway speed. So that'll be a good test for the car. And so far so good. Thanks guys for tuning in to Wheel Fix Team. Yay! Woo! Riding around in the old car. We're gonna call her Green Bean. Green Bean.